Welcome to Morning Flow with Leo Bray on behalf of Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center. Visit us online at urbanyoga.org or Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center on Facebook. We're in Palm Springs, California. We have classes every day on Zoom and 4 days a week, live in person outdoors if you're in the area. Check out our schedule and stop by the tip jar when you're visiting us online as well. And about the outdoor classes, because we talked about some location changes. This week's outdoor classes will be in the same place they've been for a bit at the convention center. And next week, they're going to be at Ruth Hardy Park, where our outdoor classes began in the spring. So there's an update. I know some people were waiting to hear about that. I'll see you tomorrow at the convention center if you're one of the folks that join us. And the outdoor classes are always also on Zoom. Check out the schedule. So today we will start out seated, or if you'd rather kneel than sit, you could kneel. Sit so that you're comfortable. You don't have to sit just the way that I'm sitting. Maybe this isn't a comfortable position to you. So find one that is. Find your contact with the floor. Feel what's touching the floor. If you want to sit up on something, you might sit on a cushion or a yoga block or two. If you want to, close your eyes. Think about the length, the height of your spine. This helps you to sit up tall, but not sitting stiffly or rigidly. Just think about that length, yet be relaxed. Focusing on your breath will invite it to slow down and get deeper. Observe the movements of your breathing and the way these movements feel in your body. Scan your body head to toe to observe whatever else is going on for you. Make particular note if anything feels out of sorts, if there's any stiffness you detect, any soreness. Keep those things in mind throughout practice so that you can take care of them. You can take care of yourself, bearing in mind that you're always welcome to skip or modify any portion of the practice. And whenever your attention drifts from noticing your breathing and observing what's going on in your body, just gently redirect and come back to these points of focus, these intentions of observation and self-care. If there's some other intention you wish to set for your own practice, you can do so now. Let that form up and sink in. Before we start moving out of our starting posture, let's take 3 cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth with a sighing sound. Let your eyes open up if they're still closed. We'll focus this morning on opening the heart. And I make this motion with my hands. We often think of the heart as just here, just the front of the body, just the chest. But the heart, when we talk about opening the heart in practice, it's a three-dimensional space. So opening the heart includes opening here, these big muscles, opening here, stuff behind the heart. So front, back, and sides of the heart space. That's going to be our focus today. And as always, it will be a whole body practice. We're not just going to work on that. So let's start right there from your seated or kneeling position. You're going to move your heart forward and back. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head tip back. Exhale, bring your heart back, let your head tip forward. So this is like the poses cow and cat that we do on our hands and knees. Similar movement with the heart. Focusing on leading with the heart, but we're moving the whole spine. As the heart goes one way, the top and bottom of the spine naturally will go the other way. So that's a movement that's sort of just on one axis. Let's bring in a circular movement now. As you inhale and come forward, go over to one side. Exhale and come back, go over to the other. So now we're starting to get a little more stretching into those big muscles under the arms, the side body. When you finish the next circle, take a few the other way. I generally like to count to myself and take about the same number of repetitions for each side. It's not critical. Sometimes we lose count, but aim for some equivalence there. And when you finish your next circle, sit up nice and tall again. And some side bends next. Bring your hands to the sides, rest your fingertips on the ground to stay long in the spine. Inhale, lift your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, reach to your right, lean into your right hand. Feel for length from your left hip up through your left fingertips. Let your head hang out wherever your neck is comfortable. Inhale to bring yourself upright. As you exhale, bring your left hand to the floor behind you and your right hand to your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, invite your body to twist some more. Explore, working your way up from the waist, finding out how much twist seems like enough. Let yourself unwind, come back through center. As you inhale, raise your right arm. And as you exhale, reach across to the left. Inhale to bring yourself upright. Exhaling, come into your twist. Right hand to the floor behind you, left hand to right leg. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist some more. Let yourself unwind, come back to center. We'll take a simple forward fold here. Bring your hands in front of you and walk them forward as far as you can and let your head drop down, let your neck disengage. You can feel this stretch in the region of the shoulder blades, the back of the heart space. Maybe your hands and arms stay engaged and keep reaching forward. Inhaling, walk your hands back and sit yourself upright again. Tip to one side, tip to one hip, plant your hands, come up onto your hands and knees. Hips above your knees, shoulders above your wrists or behind your wrists if it's too much on your wrist to have your shoulders right above them. Reach back and press into the ball of your left foot. Take a couple of breaths, letting your leg lengthen there. With an inhale, pick your foot up and reach straight back in the air through the sole of your foot. With the next inhale, reach your right arm forward with your thumb pointing up. Exhaling, draw your knee towards your elbow, round your back. Inhale, reach your hand away from your foot. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Bend your leg, reach back. Maybe take a bind. Take hold of your foot or your ankle. If you get the bind, kick against your hand. Lift your knee a little, lift your chin a little. Open the midline. Release, let your knee and hand down. Reach back and press into the ball of your right foot. With an inhale, pick your foot up and reach straight back. With your next inhale, reach your left arm forward. Then bend your leg and reach back. See about that bind. Kind of a diagonal stretch in the heart space. Release and lower down. Step your left foot up between your hands. You could have blocks under your hands here to ease the transition, give you more room between your torso and the floor. Step your right foot up to meet it and hang out in forward fold. Maybe your hands rest on your blocks or hang in the air or drag on the ground. Sway back and forth, bend and straighten your legs. Heavy arms, heavy head. I really feel this in the space just inside the shoulder blades. Gently shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. We're going to do a little skeletal adjustment for the heart space. That's the way it was described to me by Cecile Rayner, my Alexander technique teacher who taught me this. So think of moving the bones in your shoulder. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear, slide it back, and let it down. Then your right shoulder up and back and down. And through Cecile, I learned that your shoulders always ride at different heights. That's why it's helpful to adjust them one at a time. We often do things like this, like a shrug movement to open the shoulders, and that's fine too. But adjusting them independently accommodates the fact that they always ride at slightly different heights. Inhale, reach out toward the walls. As you exhale, you could reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, you could take eagle arms if that's in your practice, intertwine your arms and press your hands together. If you're taking eagle, then you can move your elbows and your hands forward and up. Nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale, open your arms again. As you exhale, cross them the opposite way. Your choice, reaching for the shoulder blades or taking eagle. Inhale to open up. Exhale, twist to the right. Come back through center and twist to the left. Come back to center. Exhale, let your arms down. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers, reach your palms towards the ceiling, and look up with your hands, lift up your heart. Inhale to bring yourself upright. As you exhale, bend to the left, feel for length through both arms. Big stretch in the right side. With an inhale, come up. And as you exhale, bend to the right, taking that big stretch for the left side. Inhale, come on out. Exhale, let your arms come down. Whenever you need a drink, take a drink. I need one now, so I can keep talking. When you're ready, come to the top of your mat. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold forward. Plate your hands and step back to plank. Let your hips come down in line with your shoulders and your knees. So plank can be on your hands and feet or on your hands and knees if a shorter plank works better for you. Feel into that long plank shape. Picture your body straight like a plank. With an exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Keep your elbows in close by your body. See how slow you can go. Let your belly down, chest, chin, untuck your toes. Reach your hands to the sides. I'm going to use the floor to do some deep shoulder opening and maybe some spinal twisting and hip opening. We'll have some options because I love having options. So grabbing the floor with your left hand, walk your right hand in towards you and press away from the floor. So you roll yourself up onto your left hip, opening your left shoulder against the floor. Let the left side of your head rest on the floor. Pardon me. Now that might be plenty to do. That can seem like a lot. maybe you just breathe right there. If you want to explore going further, you can think of opening a pair of scissors, lift your right leg away from your left, and let your heel drift back. If that feels okay and you want to go further, you could bend your knee and let that leg hang. So I'm not pushing my foot towards the floor. I'm just letting the weight of the leg hang there and see what happens. Generally, with a few breaths, the foot drops lower. Sometimes it touches the ground, sometimes it doesn't. If you wanted to go even further here, you could reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and maybe turn it back and forth. Think of an owl turning your head, moving your arm in the shoulder socket. You could also bring the back of your hand to your lower back. So now we're doing some opening work in both shoulders at the same time, as well as that hip. So there's a lot going on here if you take both extensions. You could do the arm extension without the leg extension, or the leg without the arm, or you could skip them both, or you could do them both. We'll come out nice and slowly. So if you did move your arm, first we want to bring the hand back to the floor in front of the face, somewhere by the chin. And with that stability, then start to rewind the leg. You could lift the foot up and straighten the leg, swing in a line above the other leg, and then let it down. And nice and slowly walk your right hand back out to the side so you come back onto your belly. And we'll rest for a few breaths. You could rest on your chin or rest on one cheek if it doesn't feel good to rest on your chin. And when you're ready, grabbing the floor with your right hand, walk your left hand in, rock up onto your right hip. And if you like, raise your left leg, let it drift back. Maybe bend it if you want to go further. See what the weight of the leg does there. And if you want, you might lift your left arm up, explore rotating it. Maybe take that half bind. If you did move your left hand, take your time to bring it back to the floor. If you did move your left leg, take your time to lift it, straighten it, bring it back in line above the other leg, and let it down. And nice and slowly walk your left hand back out to the side. When you come to rest at center, pause for a few breaths again, resting on your chin or resting on one cheek. Bring your hands in under your shoulders. And inhale, press into your hands, lift your chin, lift your chest to whatever height of heart opener feels okay for you. So maybe it's just a real low cobra like this. Heart openers here can be anywhere from low cobra. Anything in this range is cobra. When your back feels ready for it, if you lift your knees, then that's upward facing dog. They're all heart openers, so just listen to your low back. Exhale, push back up onto your hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands and lift your tail. Downward facing dog. Pedal your feet up and down, letting your heels get closer and closer to the floor. lengthening throughout the back of the body. Eventually finding some stillness in your downward facing dog for a couple breaths. Inhale to bend your knees and look forward. Exhaling, tiptoe forward. Doesn't matter how many steps it takes. Often small steps are better. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Pardon as I pause for another drink. Inhale up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Plant your hands and step your left foot back. Come to a runner's lunge. Lean your weight into your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, bring your hand down. Lean your weight into the right hand. Inhale, reach your left arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, bring your hand down. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Find downward facing dog. Nod your head. Shake your head. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, come down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Plant your hands and step your right foot back. Find length in that runner's lunge. I should say you can have blocks under your hands here. Forgot to mention that on the first side. Lean into your right hand. Inhale your left arm out and up and look up towards your hand. With an exhale, bring your hand down. Shift the weight into that hand. Inhale, reach your right arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, bring your hand down. Step your left foot back to meet your right. We're going to shift from downward facing dog to plank a few times like this. Inhale, glide forward to plank. Exhale, glide back to downward dog. And just take it a few more times at your pace. Inhale, come forward. Really find that long plank shape for a little pause. And exhale, go back and up. Nice rocking movement for the shoulder area, the top of the heart space. Next time you come to plank, exhale slowly, let yourself all the way down again. And we'll explore some more from here, down on the floor. Reach your hands back by your hips with your palms down. Inhale, lift your feet, lift your chin, lift your hands, maybe lift your knees, maybe lift your chest. And breathe. You'll rock up and down in your belly as the belly fills and empties. The diaphragm moves up and down. Fingers and toes reaching back. Spine, a nice long curve. Head not drooping down or cranked back too far, needlessly compressing the neck. Nice, long, smooth curve. Remember, your neck is just the top part of your spine. It's not a separate thing. Exhale, slowly release down. Rest on your chin or rest on one cheek for a couple breaths. Bring your head back to center if you're on one cheek. And we'll do a similar movement here, maybe with a bind. Bend your knees, reach your heels towards your butt. And see if you can grab your feet. Go one side at a time, reach back, grab your foot or ankle or pant leg, and do the other side. If you can't get the bind like that, you could use a strap with one end of the strap in each hand and have it running over the tops of the feet or your front of your ankles and use the strap to help you do the bind. You could also reach back towards your feet without taking hold. Inhale, lift your chin, maybe your knees, your chest, kicking against your hands or against your strap. Breathe into the belly. Exhale slowly. Let your knees down if they're up. Let your chest down. Let your chin down. Let your hands down. Keep your feet up. And let your feet wag back and forth. Sort of moving your legs like windshield wipers. Some nice release in the lower back after that deep stretch in the bind. And let your legs come down. Bring your hands forward again, under your shoulders. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Find your cobra or your upward facing dog if you like. We're going to go from here to downward dog, pass through table if you want. Exhale, push back and up. Explore a neat little stretch here, a little down dog variation. This should give a profile view for this one. Shift more of the weight into your right hand. Reach your left hand back towards your left leg or left foot. Come back to both hands. Shift the weight again. Reach back towards the opposite leg, opposite foot. Bring your hand forward again. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold down. Inhale all the way up, hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands down. We're going to explore a variation of Camel Pose. Camel Pose typically is something we do kneeling down and reaching back towards our ankles, opening the heart towards the sky. I like to do this standing supported variation. I think it's a little more accessible. It definitely is for me. So standing supported camel goes like this. I'm going to turn my back to you to show you what I'm doing with my hands. One option is to just press your hands here as if you're putting your hands in your back pockets. Or if you can, and if you want to try it, you might place your hands like this with your fingertips pointing up. Now this is a lot of pressure in your fingers and in your wrists and forearms. So it's not accessible to all. It might not feel good. Do whichever works for you, fingers up or fingers down. Either way, you're going to use your hands to support your lower back as we explore this heart opening movement here. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, relax back against the support of your hands. Inhale, lift, maybe a little more. Exhale, relax. And just explore. Maybe you already reached the furthest you're going to go, and you can just breathe there. Maybe on the next couple exhales, there's a deepening of the posture. Nice and slowly inhaling, bring yourself upright. Release your hands. Now, if you're pressing your hands with your fingertips up, your hands might have gone a little numb. You can wake them up like this. What my friend Liza in Boston calls Starfish Dance Party. It's fun, and it's a silly name. Let's come down and have a seat. Thank you, Liza, for that name. Extend your legs out in front of you. I almost fell on my back. Extend your legs forward and flex your feet back towards you. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. And exhale to fold down over your legs. If your knees want to bend, let them bend. When you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. When you exhale, think of lowering some more. Inhaling, slowly walk your hands up the front of your legs. Let your arms help you to sit up. Let your arms help your legs open out to whatever degree is okay for you. Keep letting your arms help bend your right leg. Bring your right foot to your left thigh or left knee. Pivot your torso, aim your sternum at your left foot and flex your left foot back towards you. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. Exhale to fold down over your leg. Take a couple breaths. See if that fold goes a little deeper. Finding a little more release maybe on these couple more exhales. Sweep your left arm out to the side. Turn your head to look towards your hand. Turn your thumb down. Bring the back of your hand across towards your right hip and peel your left shoulder back. Extend your arm again. Sweep the left hand back over by the right hand. Pause there. Sweep your right arm out to the side. Turn your head towards your hand. Turn that thumb down. Bend your elbow, reach the back of your hand towards your left hip, and peel your right shoulder back. Extend your arm. Reach your arm up alongside your ear and overhead. Think of reaching your right hand towards your left hand. Now, my hands aren't going to touch or even come close, but that's just the direction we're aiming in. Right hand towards left. This is great stretch for the right side. It's also undoing compression in the lower back, compression that accumulates when we're sitting a lot. Slowly reach up and out to the right and swing the arm across. Bring the right hand back over by the left hand and walk your hands up your leg. Let your arms assist your legs straighten the right leg. Bend the left one, bring the foot across. Pivot your torso, flex your right foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Swing your right arm to the right, turn your head to follow. Turn your thumb down, reach the back of your hand towards your left hip, peeling your right shoulder back. Extend your arm, swing the right hand back over by the left hand. Sweep your left arm to the side, turn your head, look for your hand. Turn your thumb down, bend your elbow, reaching the back of your hand towards your right hip, peeling your left shoulder back. I had a funny moment doing a private session with a client. We do it outdoors with masks on for safety. And when I said, turn your head and look for your hand, he said, look for Japan? No, look for your hand. Sometimes it's hard to understand each other when we're wearing masks, isn't it? He said, I don't even know which direction Japan is. I don't have a sense of direction. Extend your arm, reach it up alongside your ear, overhead towards your right hand. Reach your arm up and out to the side and swing it across. Left hand rejoins the right hand. Walk your hands up the front of your leg. Extend the left leg, let your arm help. Bring your feet together, soles of your feet together, a big distance between your pelvis and your heels. You're going to grab the floor. You could reach under your ankles to grab the floor or reach over your ankles to grab the floor. Walk your hands forward. Let your head drop down. Breathe into your lower back. This is some great action in the shoulder girdle, as well as getting that nice release in the center of the lower back. And slowly start to scoot your hands back, bringing your torso upright again. Keep your feet together, bring them in as close as you can. Interlace your fingers, grab your feet in your hands, wriggle on your seat to tilt your pelvis forward. Bring the bones in your seat closer to the floor. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward with your spine long at first. Maybe pressing your elbows to the insides of your legs. When the long spine isn't lowering anymore, let your head lower. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit yourself up. Let your arms help your legs, nudge your knees towards each other, rest your feet. Rest your hands. Scoot towards your heels. Come down onto your forearms and down onto your back. And we'll play with bridge pose. So you come down on your back with your heels as close to your butt as they'll go. Press into the soles of your feet. Oh, if you want here, you could have a block between your knees on the middle position as a spacer. Help keep your knees about hips distance apart. You might also have a block between your feet if you want. I might as well do that. I have the blocks right there. Nice to keep these joints lined up as we explore bridge pose, bridge movements. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips towards the ceiling. And there's basic bridge. If you want to go further in the heart opening here, you could wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other, clasp your hands under you, and reach your knuckles towards your heels, deepening the heart opening. Let your neck be relaxed. Make sure your head's resting on the ground. Sometimes we scrunch up our necks here. If you're clasping your hands, unclasp them. Exhale to slowly let your hips come down. And explore bridge as you like for a minute. Inhale to move up and exhale to come down, letting the movements be smooth and fluid. Challenge yourself, if you like, by moving more slowly, coming up higher, maybe repeating that bind, maybe taking additional breaths at the top of the bridge. Maybe you need extra breaths at the bottom of the bridge. Maybe you'd like to put a block under your sacrum and come to rest in a supported bridge. That's another option. For another half minute, explore bridge however you like. Maybe that's continuing to move. Maybe that's pausing in one position or another. And let's wrap it up in the next couple breaths. We'll all meet back down on the floor and just pause after that last landing. Let your sacrum reconnect with the ground. Maybe in those couple breaths, feel a little release there. If you were using blocks, move them well out of the way. Bring your knees towards your chest, hug your knees, rock and roll on your back, massaging it against the floor. Plant your right foot, cross your left knee over your right knee. If that doesn't work, you could cross your left ankle over your right knee instead. Reach your arms to the sides. Feel your shoulder blades, pardon me, feel your shoulder blades press against the floor, keeping your shoulder blades on the floor. Let your legs come over to the right and turn your head to the left. Come slowly back to center and cross your legs the other way. Plant your left foot, cross your right knee over your left knee, or right ankle over your left knee if crossing the knees doesn't work for you. Let your legs come to the left and turn your head to the right. And slowly come back up to center. Uncross your legs. Bring your knees towards your chest. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up and take hold of your legs or your feet, however you like. Play with bending and straightening your arms and legs. You can invert for as long as you like, maybe exploring other postures or movements that would help your practice feel more complete to you before you make your way to your final resting pose. Whenever you're ready, you could make your way to corpse pose if you like. The classic way we conclude practice with legs extended, feet splayed apart, hands resting at your sides. If that's not comfortable, come to a position that is comfortable for you. Find whatever your comfortable stillness is, allowing this time for your breathing to again slow down, your body to melt against the support beneath it. Maybe just focusing on your breathing or reflecting on an intention you had set for yourself, or reflecting on your heart, on opening your heart, keeping your heart open. As I said when we started in yoga practice, asana practice, when we talk about the heart, we're talking about the space around the heart. We're not simply talking about the muscle that pumps blood to the body. There's the energetic heart, the emotional heart. So many different ways we talk about and think about heart. Sometimes we talk about whether we're making decisions with our head or our heart or our gut. In scans measuring the electromagnetic fields emanating from different parts of the body, different organs, the energy coming from your heart radiates in a bigger circle than the energy coming from your brain. It's something crazy like an 18-foot diameter circle, this toroidal field of your heart. As we work on taking care of our hearts, opening our hearts, taking care of ourselves, thinking about what we carry in our hearts, how we carry it, what do we bring about with us throughout our day, what are we emanating, what are we sending out to those around us. Through practice and reflection, we can be a little more intentional about what we are sharing with others in this regard. Start to find some deeper breaths. Let your body begin to move bit by bit. Whatever movements your body wants, let them gradually grow bigger and bigger. Take your time when you're ready for bigger movements to gently sit yourself up. I invite you to bring your hands up to your heart. Thank you for sharing in this heart-centered practice today. The light within me sees and honors that same light within each of you. Namaste.